Hi everyone, this is Ginger again. Welcome to GTV, the channel that presents business and freelancing tips, beauty reviews, and tips about mommyhood and best buys. So for today, we have a really interesting topic for all of you. So our topic is tips on teaching English to kids. You know what? For those who are not from the Philippines, in the Philippines, our national language is actually Filipino, no? Contrary to what people mistakenly know as Tagalog, but it's actually called Filipino. But most of us really speak English very fluently, and I. It's probably because of the fact that in school we were taught using English. So we have a lot of viewers in GTV who would love, who are parents and would love to teach their kids English. So for today's episode, I have invited Rafi Sartin. So Rafi is the curriculum head for Enrich Asia Philippines, a Singapore Education Master Licensor, where they handle global education brands like SAM, Singapore Math, and the Unique English Classroom. With a unique combination of experiences in TV production, content creation, and multimedia, Rafi is focused to keep Enrich and its partner programs excellent in online platforms. And obviously, Rafi is a mom as well. And
Yes.
and she is a YouTuber, right, Rafi? Hi, Rafi. How are you?
Yeah. Hi, Ginger. Thank you so much for having the unique English classroom here in GTV. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so I'm really excited to learn from you, Rafi. But before that, so how are you doing during these challenging times?
Fine, keeping our head above the water and still praying for a better Christmas
Yes, I
soon, right?
that's true. That's true. I know a lot of people are praying for that as well. Yeah.
Yes.
How are your kids? You have two, right?
Yes, I'm a boy mom. So two boys, one is three and a half, and the other is just 6 months. And I must say they're really craving for the outdoors, and
Yeah.
that one is still a challenge right now, but we're keeping up.
That's true. That's true. So, okay. So, I think our viewers are really excited to learn from you. I know you prepared a little something for us. You prepared a
Yes.
deck for this. So, yeah, you can share your
Mm-hmm.
screen, Rafi.
Okay.
There. Yes, I can see
Great.
it.
All right. So, um, as Mommy Ginger mentioned, I'm going to tell you guys a little more. Well, these are very easy tips on how moms like us can teach English to our kids. Okay, so this is quite easy. But first, let me tell you guys that English is not just about speaking in English. That's just one in the many aspects of this language. So, in order for a person to be able to fully master the language, he must be able to speak in English, read in English, write in English, and most importantly, this one, I think this one is the most left behind part when it comes to studying English. This is comprehending English or English comprehension. Okay, so let me start with the speaking first, all right? Because this one is step one, should we say. So English literacy begins at home. So this one I would call on the parents. Okay, this one you have the power to influence your child so they can speak English properly and fluently, even as early as a few months old, even before they go to school. Okay, so let's go through it just one by one. So first, you are parents. You are encouraged to talk to your children in full English sentences, even though you're used to speaking in Taglish, or Pidgin English. Please don't do that. You would prefer to talk to your children in full English sentences. Now, if your household is a multilingual household, let's proceed to the second tip, which is we can apply one person, one language approach. Meaning, mom, for example, can talk or speak in English to their children, while dad can speak in Filipino. Yan. Or even our mga kasambahay, okay, they can um, participate in this as well. If you would like them to learn another language, that's just fine. Just remember, okay, to ask your mga kasambahays, okay, to choose a language which they can talk to your kids. Okay, wag natin halu-haluin kasi doon sila malilito, okay? But don't fret, mommies and daddies, if we follow the one person, one language approach, okay? Their age is at the prime age of learning any other language. In fact, I have seen in YouTube, some children can actually learn more than 7
Yeah.
if we teach them properly. So that one is very doable. Okay.
Yeah, and I think
Next.
Rafi, no, and I think
Yes.
just to share in the Philippines, maybe just
Mm-mm.
also, I think these are the things that the parents are thinking of right now. Not only for English, no, but in the Philippines, some households they are having a bit of a trouble teaching Filipino to their kids. So I really
Yes.
like your tip number two, and it's not just for English, but also for Filipino, because that's a problem right now in the Philippines, teaching Filipino, our national language, to our kids. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Because some of our children usually, they listen to us right now. Just imagine us having our
Exactly.
children beside us listening. So they pick up English rather easily because that's what we use in video calls, in you
Exactly.
recording YouTube. But conversationally, right? If we do not assign one person to teach one language, the the child would have difficulty in it.
Yeah.
So
I love
you're
it.
right.
Yeah.
This doesn't just apply to English. Actually, any language. Yeah. Okay. And all right. For tip number 3. So I know most of you parents, especially the working moms. Okay. We tend to give our kids a little screen time. Okay, when we are quite busy, and this is technology is something we have to embrace. Okay, so during screen time for our kids, let us stick to shows with humans talking instead of animation. Why? It's because when the kids see actual humans talking, they see the mouth open properly. So they see the mouth, how some words are pronounced or how words are properly pronounced. You cannot see that in cartoons
Yeah.
because of course animation doesn't do that properly. So when it comes to screen time, those shows with humans talking are the better option. Okay, and of course, let us encourage proper pronunciation. I know sometimes when our kids are they're cute, okay, when they when they say flutterby or ano pa ba yung mga yung mga cute
Yeah.
nila na sinasabi, okay. While that is cute, we would want to correct that as soon as we hear it. Okay? Kasi makakasanayan nila yon, and we
Yeah.
do not want them to get used to wrong pronunciation, and we would not want other people, yeah, to correct them. So it's better to correct them within the home, right? And of course, finally, consistency is key. So
Mm.
I know the awful approach can be quite difficult, so you would have to be consistent with this because yeah, the child would pick up on what you're speaking.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's true.
And of course, let's avoid bad words. We're done with a few tips for speaking. Okay. Now we go to reading. All right. This one is quite difficult. Okay, because your child would have to progress a little. Okay, for them to be able to start reading. Now, first, as a parent, you need to be a good example. Your child must see you reading first. Okay, because this is it's hard to ask someone to follow if they don't see you doing it. So imagine, di
Yes.
ba, Mommy Ginger, imagine you're asking, hey, you should be reading right now, but you're holding your phone. And
Yes.
or someone, or sometimes you can tell your son, why aren't you a reader? You're supposed to read a lot because it's preparation for school. But yet you are watching too much Netflix or too much TV. So read a book, parents, read a book,
Yes.
so they can see you enjoying the book.
Yeah,
Okay, that
that's
one is important too.
exactly. So that's called modeling, no? So whatever
Right.
your child sees that you're doing, that's what they'll
Hmm.
copy. Yeah.
Yes, that's correct. So this one is another tip. It's good also to read a book with your child in the morning, not just in the evening, because the tendency of some kids is to associate reading with sleeping.
Oh.
Okay, so the tendency also of some kids is to just read one book and then go to sleep. Or if you, Mommy Ginger, have you noticed sometimes when you read a book you tend to be sleepy agad?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so that's because some of us or many of us are trained to just read before sleeping. So there's an
True.
association there. So it's good to read a book with your kid right after waking up. That's when the brain is most active there.
Yeah, and
And
to
then,
add to that,
yeah,
Rafi, now that you mentioned
yes,
that it's association, maybe associate your reading bonding sessions with something fun. Maybe while reading, you can play a game so that the child
right.
knows that it's a fun thing. Reading is a fun thing.
That's right. That's right. It's not just about reading and then saying the end
Yes,
by the time
and
you're
getting
done and then
through.
they're going playing. Yes, correct. So you're right. You're definitely correct. It's when you integrate reading with another fun activity.
Yeah.
Cooking, for example, you would be surprised how exactly can I incorporate reading while cooking. Show a cookbook, right?
Yeah,
So
that's true.
show how to follow instructions, show that there's a book for whatever you're doing. Or not only that, you can, book is not just about stories, all right, or the narratives. We have what we call manuals. So
Yes,
when your new, let's say, cabinet that you just
correct.
bought, bring out the manual and then ask your child to read the instructions with you. So
Yeah.
that is teaching reading as well. Yeah. All right. So aside from that, those activities, this is in connection also with being consistent. You should have a regular reading session with your child. So this is also a way to practice a good habit. Okay. So this is not just, again, I would recommend doing it in the morning.
Mhm.
Okay. When when your child is ready, you would have to take note of that as well. And you should also follow your child. For example, if you just chose, oh, let's have a reading session at 3 p.m., but
Mhm.
every 3 p.m. your child is already sleepy, so you would have to adjust for that, right? Because
Yes.
after all, the activity is for the child, right? Not you.
Not for
Not
you.
for the parent. Yes, correct.
Exactly.
All right. So next is introduce words through structured phonics. Structured phonics, all right, is reading a word or sounding out letters to be able to read the word. Okay. So it's for example, cat. Okay. Structured phonics, when you spell out cat, is k a t, cat. Okay. Structured phonics is better learned first, okay, than just reading the word in one piece. It's because for the child to be able to read more words, okay, structured
Yeah.
phonics is a skill or a technique rather for
Mhm.
them to be able to read not just the word cat, but other words with C, A, and T in it.
Okay.
Okay, so cat and dog. So For example, dog is d o g, dog, right?
Yes.
So when you think of another word, for example, uh, let's say, if you replace one letter, for example, I'll use the
Yeah.
cat, cat, for example, cat, k a t.
Yeah.
If they already know the sound of a and the sound of t,
Yeah.
if you change the c and make it b, or b, bat, b a t, it's easy
Yeah.
to know, it's easy to read that, rather than memorizing that, this group of letters are
Sound
called
this. Yeah.
cat.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're right.
Or this group of letters is called bat. Okay? It's better to read phonetically. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Was that clear?
Yes, 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 definitely. Because with
Great.
in Zika's case, I think because
Mm-hmm.
she really loved reading when she was little, she's now able to sort of like decipher like hard words, long and hard words because of that. Because she just spells out and knows the like how it sounds, each letter sounds, and puts them
Right.
together. Yeah.
Correct. And also because some words are differently spelled and differently pronounced. So
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
one is for the more advanced level, and it's easier to adjust to that level if the child learned reading through phonics.
Yeah, for example, like the word sleigh, EI.
Mm,
So when you group it together, it sounds like this. So she's
yes,
able to identify already like groups of letters. Yeah.
correct. And they would just ask you, "Mommy, what does sla mean?" Right?
Yeah, exactly.
But you,
True.
as a parent, you would know, I think that's what she's saying. It's close, it's almost close to the actual pronunciation. Yes, that's
Yes,
right.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay, now this next tip for the parents to point out sight words, this is just to make them read faster. Okay, because these are the usual words that you see in stories, like
Mm,
and, the, in, to. Okay, there are so many sight words, okay, but the
yeah.
basic ones are these four. So just for them to read fast, but of course, as parents, if you would ask me, I would rather have my child read quite slow, yes, but what's important is they understand what they are
Yeah.
reading. Yeah. And finally, since we said that this exercise is for your child and not for you, choose the books that interest your child. Okay, so if if they show interest in dinosaurs and you yourself don't care about that anymore, you would have to choose dinosaur books, because that's the way for them to appreciate what they're reading. Okay,
Yeah.
and also tools that foster learning. So if you're given the option, dear parents, to choose a toy, you would rather choose a toy that is educational. Okay,
Mm-mm.
and that is linked, this one's better, that is linked to the book that your child is currently reading. For example, if it's a dinosaur book, then it would be nice to buy um, a dinosaur figurine, for example,
Yeah.
that is exactly, that exactly looks the same as the one in the book. That this one is quite hard to do.
That's yeah.
Yeah, that's what. So they can,
Visualize as well.
yes, visualize it better. That's right. So or if not, maybe we can um incorporate uh magnetic letters and just
Yeah.
put them on the fridge,
That's
so they
great.
can be,
I don't see
they can
those
get
often.
used. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see those
Right.
often. Yeah, I when I was small, I used to have those letters on the refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
Now I don't see those. Yeah,
Yep.
maybe in
But
Lazada or yeah, we can
yes,
check.
yeah, we can. That's right. Although if you're the crafty mom, yeah, you can maybe just print out the letters, laminate them, and just
Yeah. Put magnetic
glue.
sticker or something. Or yeah,
Yeah,
glue them. That's true.
that's right. Ingat lang po kasi baka meron kayong toddler. Alam niyo
Mm-mm.
na when for the for the
Oo nga.
magnets, careful lang tayo doon. Okay.
Yeah, you're right. So
All
yeah,
right.
kami
So,
rin no, with Zika when she was small,
mhm.
our daughter when she was small, every time we would go to a bookstore, we would make it fun for her, and it was really her choice. Like whatever book that she wanted to buy, she would choose it. We
Mhm.
would allow her to choose it, and she would get it, and then we would allow her to buy it. So it's just really her choice. So ever since, that's why probably she developed the love for reading as well, Rafi, because we gave her that autonomy, no, to decide for her own, decide on her own.
Yes, yes. That's right because it's her choice. So she
Yeah,
would like to finish the book that she
yeah.
chose. Right. Okay.
Okay.
So for kids, all right. So we're talking about kids here, and for them, kids are very visual. Okay. So a picture is definitely worth 1,000 words. So in so whenever they play, they can they can see these letters everywhere.
Mm.
So as we mentioned in the fridge, yeah, we can put it there, and wherever they play, okay, we can put this on the wall, or instead of just buying normal blocks, maybe we can buy blocks with letters on it. Okay, just for them to be familiar with these letters every day. Okay. All right, so we're done with speaking and reading. Now let's go to writing. This one is quite difficult. Okay, so first, the spelling. Okay, the spelling, unfortunately, moms, constantly practice is needed for this to improve their lexical score. Lexical score means the number of words that they know how
Mm-hmm.
to spell. Um,
Mm.
unfortunately, there's no shortcut for this. They would have to to constantly practice for them to be spelling champions. Okay,
Okay.
now for story writing, okay, a good story writer is an avid reader. Okay, so um, a good way for you to develop your child into story writing is to give them fantasy novels. That's fine, but you would have to introduce some other genre as well. Okay,
Mm-mm.
um, for them to be exposed to the vast choices that they can make, or the vast writing styles that they can do in the future.
Yeah.
Okay. And
So
then,
really expose
yeah,
them to different stories, different kinds of plots and twists and all of these things, right?
yes, correct. And as parents also, you don't have to be storybook writers, okay, yourselves. You
Yeah.
don't have to be. You just have to have proper knowledge of the basic elements of a story, which are setting. We have an acronym for that. It's space. Okay, so
Space.
space.
Okay.
Give your child space. Space. S setting.
Okay.
People or characters. A aim.
Mm-mm.
C conflict. And
Mm.
E ending.
Oh,
Space.
nice. Nice.
Okay, so you just have to know these five things, okay, for you to be able to give constructive feedback whenever your child gives you,
Yeah.
"Mommy, can you read my story?" Okay, so just remember the space. You okay, this can be harsh, all right, but as parents, we want to prepare them, okay, for reality. Okay, so
Yeah.
when your child writes a story, not all people will say, "Ay, ang ganda naman ng story mo." It doesn't end there. Okay, the
Mm-mm.
reality is some people will not like it, some people will like it. Okay, so it's good to know. It's as a child, it's good for them to know that you as a parent supports them and gives them proper, intelligent feedback. Okay, not just, "Ay, ang ganda naman." Okay,
Mm-mm.
because they will have the wrong misconception, and they say, "Oh, my mom said it's good. Why are not people liking it?" So
Yeah.
So by these basic knowledge, okay, the parent can guide the child. Oh, your story is missing a little of the conflict. Your story doesn't have an ending. What's the ending? What will happen to
Mm.
the character? Okay, and then
Okay.
what about this setting? I'm not feeling the setting yet. Can you tell me more about this wonderful fantasy land? Okay,
Yeah.
those are the objective feedback that we need to have, or the child needs to have. And yeah, and finally the tip is to give them constant feedback, especially when your child has an inclination to write stories.
Writing.
Not all children do that. Not all children. So once you detect, or once you see that your child makes a story,
Yeah.
encourage them. Encourage them. It's a rare skill. It's a rare skill.
Yes. I love it. I love the space acronym. I'll practice that with Zika later.
Yes, yes. Space. All narratives have these elements. Okay, even movies.
Yeah,
Okay, have
that's
these
true.
elements. Books. Yeah, all stories and narratives. Yeah. Okay.
That's
And
great. Okay.
yeah, and finally, okay, reading comprehension. So this one, um, the parents must be aware, Mommy Ginger, that
Mhm.
reading comprehension is not teachable in one go like that.
Okay.
Reading comprehension takes a lot of time to be developed. Okay,
Okay.
so with that, I encourage the parents to practice this as early as they can. Okay, so that the child can bring this skill until they're old, until they grow
Mm-mm.
up. Because once they are grown up and they're not good in reading comprehension, it's harder to teach. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So first, um, reading comprehension and vocabulary is very much related. So the more words a person knows, the
Okay.
higher their reading comprehension. Okay.
Okay. So this is the lexicon score. Is that it? Or no? That's a different thing.
It's similar. It's similar, but the lexicon teacher is more of just the
Mm.
spelling of the word.
Ah,
The
spelling. Okay.
vocabulary,
Mm-mm.
yeah, the vocabulary is uh you also have to know the meaning of the word for
Mm,
vocabulary.
okay. All right.
Yes.
Got it.
So yeah. So um there are few techniques to improve the vocabulary. The easiest one is to read more books, of course. But for vocabulary, it's useful also to know the root word of a word,
Okay.
okay? Because 80% or 90% of the time the meaning is related to the root word.
Mm, okay.
Okay. Yon. And then think alouds. Okay, what are think alouds? Think alouds is when you read an essay and you pause in the middle of it, or you pause after each paragraph and think aloud what
Okay.
you just read.
Oh, wow. Okay. This
Yeah,
is new.
so this is so you don't so when you and your child are reading together, you do not finish the whole essay, or you do not finish the whole story in one
Yeah.
go. You would have to read until a certain point in the story and then ask each other, or you ask your child, so what did the character feel? Or so what do you think will happen next? Or what do you
Mm,
think will happen?
I love
Okay,
it.
so that's what we call think alouds, for them to process the story little by little. Okay, for
Okay.
them to comprehend slowly but surely. Okay,
Okay.
and then tip number three is to practice reciprocal teaching. You know what they say, when you teach, you learn twice.
Yes.
So
Correct.
when your child knows something, you ask them to
To
narrate it
teach.
back to you.
Mm-mm.
Yes. That
Okay.
way the learning comes in threefold.
Yeah.
So in twofold rather. So they learn something, and when they teach you back, or when they tell it back to you, they learn it twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
So
is what
it
we do actually, Rafi. So with
yeah.
Zika, we ask her to tell us what she learned, or to tell us, like teach us, so that we
Mm-hmm.
also gauge like if she really understood her lessons.
Yes, yes. And and sometimes our children are very creative, and they, for some reason,
They
you
add.
will be surprised, they learn, so they already know so much. Sometimes you'll
Yeah.
just look at them, "Saan mo
What?
nakuha yun?" But
Exactly.
what? How did you learn that?
Yeah,
Right? So
that's so
it's
true.
also a good, it's also a good way for us to guide them. Okay,
Mm-mm.
how to look at these things. Some things they say are quite controversial, right? Or
Yeah.
quite sensitive, right?
Yeah.
So these reciprocal teaching are a good way, is also a good way for us to also gauge our children's characters,
Yeah.
right? So you would know, ah, my child pala is a little let's say naughty,
Mm-mm.
or my child is a little or
Mm-mm.
or
Talkative.
so talkative, yeah. So with that discussion, you would know his or her triggers,
Yeah.
right? Or what interests them, and what better way to guide them. And for tip number 4, um let's engage all their senses. I think teacher this I sorry, I think Mommy Ginger, this has something to do with our example a while ago with incorporating reading with play.
Yeah.
So
That's
if they love that story, instead of reading Rapunzel 10 nights in a row, instead of doing that, maybe your child can be Rapunzel for the night,
yeah, that's
and
nice.
daddy
That's a
can
cool idea.
be, right?
Yeah.
Daddy can be the tower and put Rapunzel here. I don't know, but it's one way
Cute.
to make it different. So they can role play, and they can be the character. They can get to choose if they want to be Rapunzel, or they want to be someone else in that story.
Yeah.
All right, and then finally, if these are all getting out of hand for the parent, teaching kids English is not easy. If it gets hard, or if the parent gets really busy, then it's good to get help.
Yeah.
Good to get help. Enroll for enrichment classes, or have someone do these for you. Empower your husband, for example.
Yeah.
Ask him to read the book for just for this night, or
Mm.
read the book with your child. Yeah, because parenting is a team effort, really.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. Oh,
Okay, and yeah, that's it. So
okay.
I'll
So
go ahead.
what's this?
Oh.
Teacher Rafi. Do I call you Teacher Rafi pala? You're a
Yeah,
teacher,
yeah.
right? Yes.
Yes, I am. So so as I mentioned, that we also encourage parents to get help, okay? In just in case it
Yeah.
gets really busy for you. We in the Unique English Classroom have these programs. All right. Now pre-COVID,
Yeah.
when we still had
Mm-mm.
one-on-one sessions, or group sessions rather, we had these programs. So we had programs like Kids Can Read for 3 years old. This one in has strong parental involvement, and here we teach reading, writing, and even public speaking.
Wow.
Right. Yes. So they could get more comfortable, of course, in speaking in English. And for 5 to 8 years old, we have alphabet learners, and here we teach learning through phonics, and also incorporating play with that, like drama and storytelling. And for 8 to 12 years old, we have alphabet authors. This one is the foundation program for story writing. Right.
Wow. I
Yeah, so
love it.
this comes in full circle. Okay, so we teach from the beginning, we teach the child how to read and write, and then eventually uh write their own story.
Mm-mm.
Okay? And then finally, when they're 12 to 16 years old, we have a program called AWIS, or Aspiring Writers and Illustration Scheme. And here is an intensive creative writing program for them.
Mm-mm.
Now, since we are mostly we are now learning online. Okay,
Yes, from
so
our own
why?
homes.
Yes, right. And it gets tougher every day for our parents. So one good news for you is that our kids can read. We are
Mhm.
developing a homeschool edition for this. So, which means we are going to train the parents how
Mm-mm.
to execute it for themselves. Because after all, at the end of the day, the parents know their child. You
Yes.
know what interests them the most, you know what they hate, you know the best time to teach them, right? So, we want to empower parents so they can teach English as young as 3 years old. So this one is coming soon. If I'm not mistaken, we'll have it early next year.
This is
Yan.
nice. Yeah, because this is
Yeah.
really aligned with all of your tips a while ago that to teach them during times when they are most engaged or most open to
Yes.
learn, right? So yeah, this is great. Okay, but for the rest,
Thank
don't you
you.
have like an? Do you also have the homeschool edition for the others, or is it done
Uh,
online? Or
yes. For the others, we have the following programs online.
oh,
Okay,
there.
so for those,
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
so so for for those 9 to 12 years old who are having quite a little difficulty with grammar. Okay, so we
Mhm.
have the basic grammar program called English Rules. Okay,
Okay.
so this is more of the technical side of English writing. Okay, and
Okay.
then
When you say
for
technical
oh yeah,
side,
go ahead.
like what exactly is it?
Oh, technical side, I meant sentence structure,
Got
proper use
it.
of pronouns, nouns, and the killer subject verb agreement.
Okay, all right,
Yeah,
got it. Okay.
yeah. Okay, and then if your children are quite good in English already and they would like to take it a notch higher,
Yeah.
okay, we have the Writing Without Tears, or this is a story writing program for 9 to 12 years old. So here we will talk about space, okay,
Yeah.
and how else we can develop for each element of the story.
Wow, why didn't we have this when we were kids,
Right, right.
Rafi?
I'm asking the same thing.
I wish
Oh
we could
well.
have like have, di ba? Sayang eh. Sana may ganito tayo na.
'Di ba? Di
Okay.
sin sana. Well,
Galing natin magsulat. Okay.
correct. Exactly. and
Okay.
finally, and finally we have the Cool Critics program. This is for the 13 to 18 years old. This one is even more advanced for those
Okay.
who are writing stories already, because this one is a literary appreciation program. This is good for those. Remember in high school we are asked to write reaction papers,
Yes.
essays,
Exactly. Exactly.
reviews. Yes, so this program is for that. It's teaching the student how to assess or how to review a book, what to look
Okay.
for, what is good in a book, and what can be improved, and their recommendations.
Oh,
That's
this
it.
is nice. So, how often are these programs?
These programs are once a week.
Once a week. Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
So they are each program is 12 sessions. So once a week it's 4 times a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. But I noticed that you didn't have anything for like the 4 to 7, 8, 4 to 8, or do you
Ah,
have like online programs for 4 years old to around 8 years old?
okay. That one, Mommy Ginger, that one is for this one is
That
part
one.
of the KCR. Yeah.
All
So
right. So it's still part of the
for those,
KCR. Okay. All
yes, we're still
right.
developing that for next year.
So until the alphabet learners, right? So
Yes, correct.
all right, that's great. So this is the contact details of Unique English Classroom, right? So
Yeah, we're in Facebook.
okay, so we can share the links also in the show notes below, so that you can easily click on the link. All right.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think Rafi, thank you so much. I think what I've learned, what I really liked about your presentation, it's that it's very practical. Any type of parent can actually easily go through your tips. What I like about it is that you'll see that each one actually speaking, writing, um,
Uh,
comprehension, reading,
reading.
they're all basically connected with each other. And I think
Yes.
what I got from it is that exposure is very important. Like, expose your child to different things. Speaking, you as a parent, speaking to them in English, giving them
Yes.
materials that they can read, which is also in English, and also making it all fun for them. No, it's not just
Right.
okay. My
Right.
end goal or my mission in life is for you to become a fluent English speaker. So it's not about that, but
Right. Right.
it's really enjoying the process. No, it's
That's
about
right.
that and enjoying it with your kid.
Yeah. Because if we get so mechanical about this, might as well just enroll them in school,
Exactly.
right? Because if they would get bored eventually, might as well not do it, because I do not, I myself, I can speak for myself, I do not learn much when I'm bored.
Yeah, that's true.
Think about doing it to your 4-year-old, your 7-year-old, your 12-year-old.
Yeah,
Good luck.
even to yourself. Like, try
Yes.
try looking for a really
No.
difficult book and try to
No.
force yourself to read it. So it's the same with
No.
kids. No, that's what I got from
That's
you,
right.
Rafi. So thank you so much for sharing. And okay, so thank you so much, Rafi. Anything else to add? Do you have like events in UEC right
Mm.
now, or none
Ah,
at the moment pa naman?
oh, we're also developing something for in collaboration with Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh,
So
wow, I love
it's
D&D.
yeah, right. So since those who are not familiar with D&D, D&D is a tabletop game wherein there's a story inside of it, and within that story, players can play as their own character. So it's story centric, and
Yes.
it's something UEC, or the Unique English Classroom, can collaborate with. So we're also doing something, cooking something for
Oh, that's so
D&D.
nice.
So hopefully by the end of the month we have something. Sorry. Hopefully end of the year we can have something for that. Something
Yes,
for them for
so
December.
D&D, for the parents out there, D&D, it's a role-playing game. So
Yes.
you can act as like some of the characters, or you want to choose like a character that you want to portray, and then you go through different scenarios. And it's not evil, by
Yes.
the way, because like
Yeah. Whoever.
some of the parents, like my mom, she always says, "Oh, you're playing D&D? That's evil." Nope, that's not evil. That's just a game. So it's just a game
Yeah.
wherein you actually practice creating stories, creating
Yes.
scenarios. And I think it really helped a lot because me and my husband, we love playing board games. So
Mhm.
I think a year ago we bought a set, and Zika really loved it. So we downloaded something on the internet for kids, because obviously
Mhm.
the ones that we have are like for adults and
Yes.
quite complicated. So
Mhm.
we downloaded something simpler for Zika, and she really loved it. So she loves creating stories. Now she wants to be a game developer. So all of the
Wow.
yeah, I know she's writing now like
That's
plots
cool.
and maps of with different characters. So she has this big manila paper outside, the huge paper where she wrote like a map or a scenario, because we watched this documentary on Netflix naman about games, different games, and she saw
Mm.
this
Mm. Mm.
lady who
Mm.
created one of the game in during the 80s, or yeah, during the 80s, where sabi niya, "Oh, I want that. I want to create my own game and design my own game." So we encourage that.
Cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
This is the proof that there is learning through play talaga. Learning through
Yes.
play. I would agree.
Yes, and
Exciting.
oh, it
Mm-hmm.
is, it is. That's why I'm very excited for you as well in UEC, no? Because
Mm-hmm.
not not to just to share also with the parents who are watching, a lot of the jobs that we have right now really um entail you to have these kinds of skills, no?
True.
It's more about being creative this way,
Yes.
and it starts at a very young age. So at this point in
Yes.
time, if you're a parent and thinking, oh, what ano kaya ang possible job, or what would be the job of my my child later on? Will she be a business owner, or a game developer, or an actress, YouTuber, whatever? All of these jobs, even data analysts, they need to have that way of thinking, you know, that creative skill. So yeah, this is
Correct.
when they should start. We should encourage them to start being more creative at this age.
That's right. Because most of the parents, Mommy Ginger, think that being creative is about painting. No,
Mm,
creative came from the word create, means
exactly.
create everything from painting, from solutions to problem. When you're creating, you can create solutions to problems. So that is related to what Mommy Ginger is saying, that being creative is not just about art or playing or music, not just about that, but creating a better future, creating
Yes.
solutions for problems. Yun po yung talagang meaning ng
Yeah,
creativity.
and it also led me to this, no, na parang, naisip ko right now, it's also about communicating. Once you
Yes.
create, you have to communicate. So what we're telling you about like tips on how to teach your kids English, it's not
Mhm.
just for them to learn English, but for them to actually use the language so that they can clearly communicate with other people. And it's about relationships. No, when you want to build relationships with other people, sometimes eto, in our household, because my husband is he's very, what is this? He loves us to use like exact words, the exact
Mm,
thing, no? That you're, for example,
okay.
Zika, what are you feeling? Are you feeling sad, frustrated, angry? So he loves to ask us what is the exact word that you're
Exact word.
actually feeling, exact word. So he's very specific when it comes to words. So that's how we practice Zika now. Are you feeling
Mhm.
hungry, anxious? All of these words, no? so
Words.
so and I believe that in the business environment, since this channel
Mhm.
is also related to business and freelancing, a lot of the
Yes.
times when relationships are get broken or get destroyed, no, it's about miscommunication. Sometimes, not
True.
naman a lot of times, but it's about
Yes.
miscommunication, and it's because you did
Mhm.
not use the right words, right, Rafi?
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
It's probably
Oh
just
my
that.
gosh. That's
Yeah,
true. Mm-mm.
yeah.
Correct. It's expressing yourself well. Okay, and even, and if your child, for example, has a great idea, how can that idea can be made, how can that be made real if the child cannot express what the idea is about, or what her plan
Yes.
is about, or what the project is about? No, di ba, Mommy Ginger, not just
Mm.
for kids, even like managers,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
How can a manager ask his or her subordinates to follow something if he or she cannot tell them exactly what he or she needs?
Yes, exactly. So this episode really, I hope for the parents, this episode helps you realize that
Mm,
during like the formative years of your child, no, this is the best time when you want to teach them English and all
yes.
of the other skills that go along with it. Right. So
Right.
thank
Right.
you so much, Rafi, for guesting in
Thank
my
you, Mommy
show
Ginger.
today. I'll put all of the
Thank
links
you.
below. Thank you for those who watched this episode. If you like this video, please click on that like button and then share, subscribe, and click on that notification bell for more videos like this. Again, this is Ginger, another episode of GTV. Thank you.